evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva said his government will push for an independent probe into the police raid last week in Rio de Janeiro that killed 121 people, including 4 police officers. It is important to see under what conditions it happened, he told reporters in Belém ahead of COP30 Climate Summit. The judge's order was for arrest warrants to be served, not a mass killing, and yet there was a mass killing. The operation on October 28 was the deadliest in Brazil's history. It targeted the Comando Vermelho gang that controls the drug trade in several poor, densely populated neighborhoods, overthrew the city's hilly terrain. Rio de Janeiro state officials described it as a success. State Governor Claudia Castro said the only real victims were the slain officers and that all the others killed were criminals. The raids underscored a complex political scenario for Lula, a leftist, who has attempted to reconcile international concerns over human rights violations with growing public support for a crackdown on crime. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has insisted that Trinidad and Tobago has no plans to leave CARICOM, despite her government's focus on strengthening ties with countries outside the region. Speaking during an event in Tobago during her first official visit to the island since being re-elected, Persad-Bissessar said the country must expand its international partnerships while remaining part of the regional bloc. She added that CARICOM will continue as a bloc, but stressed the need to attract new investment. Russia remains in constant contact with Venezuela over tensions in the Caribbean. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov was quoted as saying on Tuesday, "We have constant working contacts with Venezuela," TASS news agency quoted Peskov as telling reporters at a briefing in response to questions about whether Moscow was extending help to Caracas. TASS said Peskov declined to give any further details about the nature of the contacts. Peskov, quoted by TASS, said last weekend that Russia wanted the situation between Venezuela and the United States to remain calm and to ensure that new conflicts broke out in the region. The Russian Foreign Ministry at the weekend denounced excessive military force by the United States in the Caribbean Sea and reaffirmed its support for Venezuela's leaders. A U.S. campaign in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific against what Washington says is the illegal drug trade has targeted at least 14 boats and killed 61 people. The United States has built up a large military presence in the Caribbean in recent months. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro signed a strategic partnership and agreement in Moscow in May. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana.